I made the mistake of telling my kids that there was Santa Claus, but then it got really out of hand because my little one said, wanted some extravagant present. I said, well, that's too much money. He says, don't worry, Mom, you don't have to pay for it. Santa Claus can get it for you. I was like, well, Santa Claus needs money. We have to give Santa Claus money.
Well, Christine, I'm not saying you're bad either for doing it. It's just that...
No, I know, but it's like, I figured it out, after the fact. That but I'm illustrating Santa Claus for the example of just the kind of brainwashing that goes on. And, I think when I was a kid, I can literally, tell you right now verbatim a poem I wrote when I was 9 years old called The Communist Rhyme about all the bad guys, that are in the communist countries, all the bad leaders. And that's another thing. So you just grow up thinking that. So now when the communism fell.
They replace it with the new boogeyman.
Yeah. So now, and this is even better.
I'll tell you what, I want to hear this rhyme. I want to hear the actress Christina Ebersole do it.
Okay.
Keep calling you Christina. Christine Ebersole. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you want me to hear it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yulbrecht is made out of all brick. Khrushchev is made out of cheese. Mao Zedong is just a little dumb, but what can rhyme with these? Tito and Castro are bad, you see, but all of them are big boogers to me. That was
You're cute. That is so funny.
Dating me, isn't it? All those people are dead now, but yeah, that's it.
Now,
and I think I got a good grade on that, too. It was like, I was patted on the head. Aren't you good for creating this rhyme about all the bad people,
Meanwhile, those bad people were all to a one funded by the globalist.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Christine, let's get into 9/11. Jesse Ventura's gone public on this show, blew up, national TV, Fox, CNN, Associated Press, hundreds of papers. Willie Nelson went public here, saying it was an inside job, TV,
awesome.
Radio, all over. Margaret Cho went public here. One of the top Japanese parliamentarians went public. We got Andres von Bulow coming up Monday. He's already gone public, former defense minister, but now he's going even more public with it being an inside job. The former Italian president, highly respected, 7 years president, former head of their intelligence agency, says that the New World Order carried out the attacks of the U.S. and Israel, to be precise. All these people are going public. All these people are speaking out. It really is building towards bigger and bigger finales that just take us to a new level. But yes, my fingers to the wind, my ears to the ground. I see that if we just all intensify our efforts, we can really expose this and bring the criminals to justice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's also, when you talk about this, it's really interesting to note that a lot of this can be made a non-issue by the mainstream media, which I find are the biggest culprits of all in perpetuating this propaganda and this, and bringing the New World Order into being. Because when you talk about this, well, do we find this on mainstream television? I mean, that it keeps repeating, or that they parade them forward as another one of those nutcases and then demonize them, trash them on television. Is that what's happening?
Well, they're trying to trash, but not anymore. They're cowering to Ventura. He went on Fox, and basically O'Reilly, I mixed them together, Sean Hannity, Sean Vanity, as some call him, was just dumbfounded and couldn't even respond.
Really?
And then O'Reilly backed off and didn't do a pinhead segment like he did on Willie Nelson, because I know that blew up in his face. He didn't do a pinhead section that I know of on Ventura. And so, no, they're now looking, when you see them on TV against these people, they're looking scared. They're looking freaked out. They're almost speechless now, because you look at the polls, the vast majority know we've been lied to.
Right.
And that takes away their favorite little tool of carrying out the attacks and then posing as our saviors.
Well, it also, too, the other thing is we have to understand is that the American flag is our faith. That has become the nationalist faith. And that's another way how, religion has been co-opted, and brought into this bigger, propaganda and mythology venue, is that, to speak against the government is to speak against God. That's really the way they put it. I mean, you see David Ray Griffith go on television, and you see Sean Hannity saying that it's a sin for him to say that the government lied about 9/11.
Yeah, it's making it a religion. Well, I mean, it is a religion. Believing the government, believing the lies. I mean, the way they seduce conservatives to accept gun control, open borders now, and all they've got left is just hating Arabs. And then meanwhile, you explain that the government's funding the few Wahhabist real terrorists and using them to attack Iran. And then Petraeus and McCain say, no, Shiites are now Al-Qaeda. And they just said that in the Senate hearings, and now the media is saying, okay, I guess Shiites are Al-Qaeda. Instead of McCain getting in trouble for saying that, they're just saying, he said, yes, they are Al-Qaeda. And then now the media is saying, okay, I guess Shiites are Al-Qaeda. I mean, it was kind of like a month ago when the economy was plunging and the dollar was plunging, and it's plunged even more now. They asked the White House press secretary, they said to her, is the dollar dropping in value? Please, the White House needs to tell us. And she said, I'm not allowed to tell you that. I'll be fired. Like we need the White House to tell us, like we're 2-year-olds, if the dollar's falling. We can just look at the index. I mean, you see what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
they
crazy.
Won't even say we're in a recession, will they?
No, they still say we're not.
Yeah, that's right.
And so because they won't say we are, people then debate whether we're... It's like they control reality.
Unbelievable. That is such a great point, Alex.
Christine
Absolutely
Ebersole,
true.
well, thank you. Stay there. I'm going to come back to more about 9/11, your ideas of moving forward. Are you going to be in New York on 9/11? That might cinch it for me to go up there if you're going to be there. I still haven't decided. And so much more. ChristineEbersole.com. Ebersole is EBERSOLE.com. Or just Google Christine Ebersole and you'll find her website. We'll be right back. Christine Ebersole, I want to get you back up in the near future, instead of just once a year. I really appreciate your time, your energy, your passion. And I know I keep saying that. I mean, I really do. From my family to yours, thank you for your courage. Thank you for what Christine Ebersole did, because you were the second person after Charlie Sheen when they tried to drag him through the mud and demonize him, and now you came out, and now many other Hollywood people have come out, and it makes it easier and easier for more now to speak up, and people see that courage, not just in entertainment and in the arts, but in business, in finance, in government, in engineering, and so you really are a trailblazer, Christine.
Well, thank you, Alex, and you are too, and I really appreciate the work that you do.
In the 3 or 4 minutes left we've got, any other points or ideas you want to impart to the audience? Well,
I think that the main defense with people that can't get on board the 9/11 truth train is that people say that, too many people would have to know in order for this. In other words, too many people would have to know that were involved in 9/11. But again, it gets, I get back to that story, but it's the brainwashed that are doing the brainwashing. It's the people, it's this society that we live in that people don't learn to think for themselves, and they've absolutely given all of their power away. And I just wanted to end this story by my brother, who we talk about 9/11 a lot, and he has a little trouble getting on board. He's always saying to me, "But Chris, I'll keep an open mind." Well, he calls me from Disney World. He said, "Chris, I am in the happiest place on earth, and I'm going through the turnstile, and they want to fingerprint me." I said, "What?" He said, "No, they want to fingerprint me, and everyone's blindly going through and sticking their finger through this laser thing, and they're all happily on their way to get the popcorn and take the rides." I said, "What did you do?" He says, "I refused." I said,
now, by the way, when they first did that 5 years ago, they would say no. Now, for those that say no, they let you through. But it's the cattle thing, like going into the showers.
Yeah.
They just don't think.
Into a database.
Yes.
Which is all,
But it also Pavlovianly trains you. A lot of schools come scan the kids to get school lunches, elementary, or to get library books, or go to the tanning salon or gym or bookstore.
Yeah.
It's all for the cashless society. Then they track everywhere you go. They turn your cash cred off if you aren't serving the New World Order. Or if they say you haven't paid your 85% tax bracket. It's total control. And so did that wake your brother up?
Well, that's what I mean. See, if you think of 9/11 as the epicenter of truth, as the epicenter of the New World Order, of the catalyst that they needed in order to galvanize the people and to make them afraid and to giving up their civil liberties, then when these things start happening, when you start to question these things, like, well, why am I being fingerprinted to go into the happiest place on earth? Then you think, You see, it ends the confusion. When you stand in truth and you know the truth and the truth sets you free, then you're not so confused. It's like, oh, of course this is, because this is all leading us into total world domination and complete control of us.
Well, when they take people in Fallujah, they thumb scan them, and when I videotaped the Marines training to put us in camps in 99, they were fingerprinting us, and that's the control grid. Christine, stay there. We'll be back in 70 seconds. I want to say bye to you on air. Here we go.